again, it's me Chaz, back with another video, and I'm currently right now in Montevideo, Uruguay. I came here to do some recording about the very first World Cup in 1930. I'm gonna head up to the Estadio Pocitos. It's currently not a stadium anymore. It's been knocked down only a couple of years after it got built up in 1930. So I went there earlier. I've been there for this is my third day now. No, fourth day. And I've been up there earlier, so I'm going to head up there again. I'm going to talk about the first group, which was Group 1, Group A, where France, Mexico, Argentina and Chile were in. All four of those nations would eventually become hosts of the World Cup. And two of those nations, both France and Argentina, do go on to win the World Cup later. Argentina did it first in 1978, then in 86, and then most recently, currently the holders after winning the World Cup in 2022, funny enough, defeating France. France themselves won it in 98 and in 2018, and again most recently was the runners-up. Chile's come close only one occasion where they reached the semi-finals in Chile when they were the hosts, and Mexico's reached the quarterfinals on I believe 2 occasions, and that 2 times was when they were the hosts themselves. So I mentioned all 4 nations do become hosts. They're the only group in the World Cup in 1930 to all eventually become hosts in that group. So starting with France first, where they became hosts in 1938, and then for the second time became hosts in 1998, and then Chile became hosts in 1962, and Argentina in 1978, and then finally Mexico. They became hosts in 1970, became the first nation to be hosts on 2 different occasions, being a host in the 1986 World Cup, and then most recently, but they will become the host for the 2026 World Cup, co-host with the USA and Canada, which will make them the first nation to ever host a World Cup on 3 different occasions. So I'm gonna head up to Estadio Pocitos and discuss the very first match that ever took place at the World Cup, or co-first match to take place, and that was the match between France and Mexico, where France defeated Mexico 4-1. And the other match that took place at the same time was between Belgium and the USA, where the USA won 3-0. That was in Group 4. So my first focus will be on this group in Group 1. And so I'm going to head off there now, and thanks for watching. Bye. Alright, yo soy aquí. I'm here, finally here. Alright, so this is the area where the very first World Cup match took place between Mexico and France in Group A, where France defeated Mexico 4-1 in this game. The very first goal was scored, and that was by Lucien Laurent for France in the 19th minute. And I believe this thing right here, hopefully that picks up, it's a plaque to honour him. The whole thing there, so I don't get me wrong, it's got a bit of graffiti on, but you know, this is a plaque to honour it, so that's really cool. And that Alright, so with that win for France, they were able to top the group, at least on the first day. So that match took place on the 13th of July, 19... Was it July? Sorry. I think it was July, 13th of July 1930. So that match took place. The other game that took place around this area was around the Estadio Pocitos, was the match between Peru and Romania, where I believe Romania did win that match. So that was the other game that took place. That was in Group 3. That was in the same group there. So those two nations were in the same group as Uruguay themselves, the hosts. And but yeah, still in Group A, or Group 1. We said France won that fairly. Cool. Okay. So yeah, fairly good win for France. Other things that happened in that match. Obviously, Mexico got their first goal as well at the World Cup. Carino scored for France. Sorry, for Mexico in the... I think when they were about 3-1. Yeah, I think when it was about 3-0 up, France, he managed to get a goal back for Mexico, but it wasn't enough. Alright, 1 second. I'm going to do a bit more. Check my notes again. Yeah, like I said, Laurent scored in the 19th minute, taking a lead for France. And then in the 40th minute, Languila scored. And a few minutes after that, Inot scored in the 43rd minute. And the thing about him is he himself became the first player to score 2 goals in a game, after Carino from Mexico managed to pull one back for them, becoming Mexico's very first goal scorer at a World Cup. Again, Mashinot managed to score at the end, making it 4-1, becoming the first French player and the first player to score 2 goals in one game. So many firsts in this match. And yeah, this area is pretty calm though. It's a pretty decent area actually, I would say. So it's calm, but I would have liked to have seen, I think, the plaque to be, the plaque's fine, it's preserved and all that, so it's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe I expected a little more, because, you know, considering it's the place where the first World Cup match took place. But obviously at the time and all that, when it was knocked down, and you weren't going to know how big the World Cup was eventually going to become. And the day the stadium was only made just for the World Cup, and it got knocked down pretty early after that, you know. They knocked it down early. The stadium only held about, how much was it? 1,000 people. Yeah, so the ground only held for 1,000 people in it. So, you know, that's understandable. I guess why it's not that big, I guess. But still, I'm really happy to finally be round here. I've been meaning to come to this country a long time ago. So, especially for, you know, you're a football fan, just to be round here. I don't know, this is heritage, man. This is football heritage, you know. Just for that alone, you should definitely come down there to Uruguay. Other than that, it's, you know, it's not just for football. It's actually a really nice place in general. The heat's pretty decent. No, it's a nice chilled day today. So, yeah. Just going around this area quickly. There was a plaque here that I saw a couple of days ago when I got here. I can't believe I forgot where it was now. My memory on areas is not that good. I need to go around a bit longer to sort of get it. Probably find it in a bit though. But yeah. Also, this stadium did hold the record lowest attendance for a match at a World Cup. I believe that was 300 people turned up for the game between Peru and Romania. That was only the second match that took place here. There's only 2 matches that took place. As I mentioned, France and Mexico. There's 4-1 France, as mentioned, and the other game was between Romania and Peru, where Romania won that match. So, yeah. Again, it's a pretty cool area. I'm gonna try and look for that plaque and then I'll film again if I could find it. Alright, so I wasn't actually too far from this. This is what I wanted to find. I saw this back on Saturday when I came down there. It's Monday today. So, yeah. So actually, yeah, whenever the graffiti be on it, it's still kind of cool that it's here and that. Yeah, it's back. Like I said, this is where the first match took place, around there. And that, Mexico, France. Alright, that's one part of my Group 1 or Group A video. Next up, I'm gonna head up to the Gran Parque Central Stadium. That's where France's next game, which is 2 days later, I believe it was on the 15th of July, they took on Argentina for the first time. So the first time those 2 nations met. And the next match after that, I believe, was it Chile and Mexico, I believe? I think it was Chile and Mexico. I think that was the next game that took place. I'll look it up quickly. Hang on 1 second. Let me see this match. Yeah, Chile and Mexico. That's another match that took place in the Estadio Parque Stadium. I said stadium twice, isn't it? So anyway, but yeah, that's the next match that took place. So next 2 matches between France and Argentina, and Mexico and Chile, in both of those games, like I mentioned, took place in the Gran Parque Central Stadium. So yeah, I'm gonna just head up to those 2 grounds. Well, that ground, and then if I've got time, I'm hoping to go to the main stadium, the Estadio Centenario. Hola. So I'm trying to head up to there as well at the end of the day. I've been enjoying myself. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't have the greatest start. Had an issue with my car that got absolutely stuck in the very first machine I used here, literally in the airport, and that set me back quite a fair bit. So I'm still annoyed a little bit, but I managed to sort that money so I could get about now, and that's cool. But yeah, anyway, that's my video for Group 1. This is my first video. Oh, this might be a school. Alright, but yeah, that is my Group 1 video, first part. I mentioned Mexico against France. I will head back down here again when I do my Group 3 video about the match between Romania and Peru. But for now, thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. Bye. Okay, this is now my second stop, and I'm now at the Gran Parque Central Stadium. So this is the second stadium at the World Cup, where the first game between Belgium and the USA took place. So this was where the second match, or say another first game, because both games took place simultaneously. This is where Belgium lost to the USA 3-0. And with that, the USA became the first nation to get a clean sheet. The team that played this was originally Uruguay's national stadium, so they would play the games before the Center of Rio was open. So this was where they took place. The first games. They could get closer to the actual entrance though. Nacional play their games, home games here, and that's the team that plays their games there. So that's currently what they got. Their ground, such an important ground as well to history. Again, it's still kept nice, and that. Let's check the entrance now. In Group 1 still mentioning Group 1. 2 matches took place here. France's second game, they played Argentina. A goal from Monti late on. It was a free kick, a direct free kick, I believe. He scored. And that made it 1-0 for France. Sorry, for Argentina. And at that point in time, the group would have been 2 points for France and 2 points for Argentina. I'm not sure if I don't believe they did goal difference back then though. So I think if the group's drawn, then I think replays would have had to have been played and all that, I believe. So yeah, that's how the group would have been at the time. And with Mexico still being bottom. The next game, and obviously Monti scoring for Argentina, because that was Argentina's first game. He became Argentina's very first goal scorer. There's an argument he should have been sent off in the first half. Had a crazy tackle on Lucien Laurent, which put him on the sidelines, and back then you couldn't have any substitutes, right? So he had to just play on the right wing. Another thing, I didn't mention, their goalkeeper got injured. France's goalkeeper got injured in their first game, and I forgot who was. Another man, one of their midfielders came on, but decided it was in goal instead, and they had to take off their keeper. He played on in the second game this time. France is actually he kept the game quite low by making a lot of saves, but it wasn't enough. Let's just get the proper sign in. Do I have it in shot? No, I have to go further back. There you go. Again, this stadium had the second most games in, I believe so. Second most? I think they had the second most matches took place here at the first World Cup. Good, just like simultaneously like the Estadio Pocitos, this ground, like I mentioned earlier, had one of the first games played. Good ground again, good history there as well. I'm going to see if I can get inside. I'm not sure how it works here. Alright, anyway, I'll be back in a bit. So yeah, I just need to go to the main, I don't think that was the main entrance, I think that was around the back. So just going to the other side now, I was told to. So, but yeah, just seeing around the stadium, at least these areas. But yeah, again, it's another calm day. I could imagine the atmosphere though on match day though. That would have been cool if I came in then, but I wasn't really sure what time matches would have took place. I did look around. I don't know if it might be. I don't think it's the end of the season, is it? I don't know. Yeah, said the other game that took place here was between Mexico and Chile. where so that was Chile's first game. I believe that was on the 16th of July. So the match between France and Argentina, which took place there, was on the 15th. And then the match between Mexico and Chile was on the 16th of July. And in that match, Chile defeated Mexico 3-0 in the game. The very first own goal was scored in that match. Manuel Rosas for Mexico scored the own goal for Chile. I guess against Mexico, for Chile. I guess that's what I should say. So yeah, that goal went in. Well, lucky enough for Chile, it wasn't Chile's first goal. Vidal scored 2 goals for Chile in that game, and he became Chile's first goal scorer and Chile's first player to score 2 goals in one game as well. So brilliant start for Chile. And I believe with that game Mexico was knocked out. So I guess in this stadium, I guess in this stadium, it's the first time a team has been knocked out of the World Cup as well in this ground too, and that would have been Mexico being knocked out. So yeah, and with that victory for Chile, you would have had France with 2 points, Mexico with no points, Chile with 2 points, and Argentina with 2 points. And that's how the group that's how after the third game, halfway through, the groups were. So with Mexico already being knocked out. So yeah, shame for them, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, this is gate 4, I believe, yeah. Door 4, yeah, that makes sense. Let's see if I can get it. Alright, I'm here, I'm at the stadium and all that, and so I've managed to make it in, and it's beautiful. Like I say, it's beautiful. Like I said, this is where one of the first games ever took place at the World Cup. Again, that was between Belgium and the USA, where the USA won 3-0 in this ground. It's history, So brilliant. Okay, good start for USA, and that was in Group 4. But I'm still focusing on Group 1 right now. So the game between Mexico and Argentina, between France and Argentina, again, Monti scored in the first minute, making it 1-0, and that's a great start for Argentina. And then again, next match was between Chile and Mexico, where Mexico was defeated again. That's their second defeat. With that second defeat, that knocked them out. Again, at 3-0 in this stadium. The very first own goal was scored in the stadium by Manuel Rosas, Mexican player. Unfortunately, he scored an own goal. He does redeem himself later, though, in the Estadio Pocitos, where he did score a penalty, and making him the first player in the history of the World Cup to score a penalty. And he also was Mexico's youngest player to ever score a goal, and the youngest player to score a goal at this tournament. That record stood for quite some time. But yeah, back to this stadium though. Again, I'm going to keep coming here for a little more times because so many more matches were played, here as well. Many firsts as well, a couple of other firsts and that, but good start for both Argentina, both of the South American teams in Group 1, in Group A. with their victories on the 15th of July and the 16th of July. And with that said, I guess I'm going to finish up here. I'm actually going to get a couple of drinks here, and I might eat because I haven't had anything to eat today, so I'm going to get some food. But this is good, and and this is free. This part is free, But I didn't have to spend anything, so that's cool. That's brilliant in itself. But yeah, I'm going to get some drinks and enjoy myself and that. But they said this is Group A or Group 1 halfway through. And that, so I said just say this is part 2, I might added them all together anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and bye.